It's a weird one, bro. Like, even knowing he's alive, like, so he spoke to me like 5 minutes before his concert,
Yeah.
like proper briefly, and he was speaking about Tai. Um, basically said like, uh, him and Tai was like him trying to protect me, you know, and it wasn't real and it was fabricated.
Yeah. So, how much of that did he tell you?
Um, he sort of spilled the whole thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
very quick and without letting me ask questions, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a separate issue to fucking hell. Is it? Do you want me to tell you it from the start?
Yeah. Can you speak up a little bit?
Right. So what actually happened? So there was a discussion between SK, Dean, Vitar, myself, just about obviously the situation and how what SK's told you about Tati, that he got in too deep with her, um, like trying to protect you. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
when he met up with her to basically say like this thing is like what we have isn't real. I was just doing it to help like protect Matt. She pretty much turned around and said to him, "Well, I was only getting with you to make Matt jealous."
But like,
So
it doesn't make sense because
no,
in what skunked, diluted world,
mm-hmm.
bro, would sleeping with my best friend make me jealous?
I mean, yeah, I mean, to her that made sense. To you, it doesn't. You know, different people. Um, so the original thing was because SK didn't basically thought that Tati was obsessed, and the only way that he could get away from her obsession was to fake his own death. Okay? The original plan that we had was to have a drive-by take place in which he was on like a date with Tati, and obviously these mysterious men would pull up in black vans and drive by SK, you know, and we'd fake his death that way. When he went to a meeting with Tati and basically they both like came clean on what their real intentions were, he obviously then told Tati that he was planning to do that. But then obviously he didn't need to do that anymore because
Well, Tatty knows that Sparky was gonna fake his death.
she knows what was going to happen, but she doesn't. I'll be honest, she knows because she's just called me and said, "I know, I know, I know, you know, I know." She's pretty much knows.
Because she tweeted that.
Yeah, because that was after the phone call with me when I was telling me to tell her what she knows, and then I'll tell her what she doesn't. You know.
He tweeted, just know I know.
Yeah. Um. So after that happened, we then realized that Sparky then realized that it wasn't Tati that was the issue, but obviously the Elena thing was still very apparent, and you know Elena was coming after SK, you know, and she tried to set him up at the strip club, and his life was still very much in danger. So the decision was made to go ahead and still fake his death, but in a different way. This time via, you know, fake retirement party. Well, it kind of is fake, but at the same time, we all knew he wasn't feeling, you know, music like he used to. And
Been
then,
retired for a minute.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So the retirement party kind of did come out of nowhere, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not like it was a completely made up thing.
Yeah. He was making it official.
Yeah. So then this plan was made. You know. Patar, because of his past and his history, we deemed him the best person to take the shot. We got SK padded up with blood pouches to make it look realistic when he was hit with the rubber bullets. Like, everything was planned to perfection. The fact that you weren't told was honestly just bad timing. But at the same time, you not being told made it as believable as it would have ever been. If that makes sense. And I know it was... it's not something that any of us would have wanted to put you through. And that's why I suppose we told you kind of as soon as possible. Because let's be honest, if we would have told you in the middle of all that yesterday, you'd have lost your mind.
I'd have hurt someone.
Exactly. So that happened, and yeah, and what Patari is telling you is the 100% truth. He is safe, and he will be back, but it will be, under very different, I suppose, means than what he is now. Because at the end of the day, you knew what Spikey was into. You know what he was being, looked into for. You knew there was people that, potentially wanted him. So this was what was deemed kind of as a necessary evil. And, I'm sorry for, I suppose, not telling you, like as a friend to you, but at the same time, it was just something that had to be believable at the time. So I apologise for that.
It's such a blur, bro. Felt like I almost like a... It was like I blacked out yesterday, almost. Yeah. I just don't understand what's going on with Tate either, I can't lie. She must be skunked.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, it's, like I say, I mean, what I've told you doesn't really necessarily change much, but it just might make you understand it a bit more, I'm
curious to see if she tells me that she knows.
She does know that you don't know.
She's aware of that.
I do believe she knows that you... Actually, maybe from what she said to me, she might think that you know, and I'm just, she's probably assuming that you do know, actually. From the conversation that we had.
Why? What was said?
She was just like, how's Matt? And I said, obviously, well, he's taken it quite hard. He's been, keeping himself to himself. He's been just racing to kind of get the anger out. And she said, oh, right, I might call him and ask him that myself just to see if you're lying. So I don't know why she'd say that if she actually thought that if she thought that I was being genuine. I don't think she'd have said that, would she?
No.
But I think she...
I think she thinks you're trying to cover the story from her and convince her that SK is dead.
Yeah.
Are we letting her know that he's not dead, or?
I
feel like people that have like a...
I think probably that's like a Patar jurisdiction. So I mean, I obviously know, and what you know doesn't necessarily have to be told to anybody. But like I say, for as far as what kind of me and Patar have told you, it's the same thing. But because Patar, I suppose, is more heavily involved, there's potential incrimination that could come his way from this. I would definitely consult with him before you make any decisions on kind of what is said. because at the end of the day, we were doing this for a reason, you know. And in the long run, this, you know, this protects SK, and you know, I'm sure you're all for that, you know.
Yeah. SK's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
About in 15 minutes if you can claim it. We met without asking for a claim.
Fucking Jesus Christ, chat.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I suppose I've told you this in confidence between me and you, because like at the end of the day, and I said this to Patel yesterday, you know, when
I knew everything you've told me so far, but from Tatty knowing, you know, so.
yeah, I mean, I've told you that because I feel that that's kind of
I just don't know what to say to her. I don't know if she, like, what she thinks I am, if I'm a mug or something, bro, but, like...
I've said that I suppose I told you that because then you can I suppose decide. I mean, let's probably you know, it's a strange one. But I don't believe. Do you think she would tell? Do you think she would tell people?
Tell people what?
Because Matt, you
How she feels?
no, no. If she starts telling people that you know, this was all, I suppose, internal, and this was kind of a, you know, a setup, there's going to be like severe repercussions for us, you know.
I feel like there's less chance of her speaking if she's brought in. Just from my experience with her and Elena, Steph. She was the one preaching that Elena was still alive.
Hmm.
Bro, she's already been vocal on the timeline and said, I want you to know I know.
Yeah.
And everyone and their mum knows she's had involvement with Mandem over the past few weeks.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
it's I think the way we have to look at this now is, and I know it's difficult, but we have to just
Should we get Patar here and see if he wants to
I mean, he'll be with yeah, you call him here, but he'll be with Moses, I guess. Um, probably try to make some sense of it to Moses.
I've just declined Shanks' call to call Patar. It's kind of funny. Yo, me and Denzel were just having a chat. You able to pull up? Are you able to pull up? Does Moses know everything? Okay. We're on the beach. I'll ping you. What's your ping? Yeah, I just declined his call. I can't lie. Okay.
Mate, you're so close. Oh God.